Tefillin on Chol HaMoed. It's an interesting question about Tefillin on Chol HaMoed. Shulchan Aruch goes against the Rambam. Jamal asked this question in regard to wearing tefillin during Chol HaMoed. Sam mentions this in his notes as well. What do we do about tefillin on Chol HaMoed? Okay, Rabotai, what can I tell you about tefillin? I can't create a new. It's a stone that's been turned so much. It's in the words of a modern Israeli, it's kemach shekvar tachun. It's a flour. It's flour that's already been ground. How much more fine can I grind flour? But let's try. Background on tefillin and Chol HaMoed. Maran indeed does write in the Bet Yosef that we don't wear tefillin. The minhag in Safarad is not to wear tefillin on Chol HaMoed. The reason being because there's a Zohar, Kabbalistic teaching, not exactly, that says that one who wears tefillin on Chol HaMoed, that God forbid his life would be shortened, and that became the minhag in Safarad to do like this. That, Maran does base himself on a Kabbalistic idea, though that's very rare. It's only a handful of times where Maran does base himself on a Kabbalistic premise. The Talmud writes that on Chol HaMoed it's forbidden to write. You're not allowed to write, especially not Ktav HaShulit, biblical writing, unless one is writing mezuzot or tefillin for Chol HaMoed purposes. Meaning you need a mezuzah for your home, you need tefillin for now for Chol HaMoed. From here it seems clearly that you need tefillin for Chol HaMoed. The Rambam himself can be read in two different ways. The Rambam does mention this halachah. A Rambam himself can be read whether you put tefillin on Chol HaMoed or not. Mari Kapach, Rabbi Yosef Kapach already wrote that the minhag in Yemen. So this is before Maran's Shulchan Aruch, maybe not. The minhag in Yemen is not to wear tefillin Chol HaMoed. That's a minhag pashut. And he says he doesn't have proofs, lekan velo lekan, not this direction and not that direction, whether or not one should wear tefillin Chol HaMoed. Meaning, for those who think that it's clear that Rambam believes you wear tefillin Chol HaMoed, Rav Kapach didn't think it was so clear. It's true, I will say. There's a Rabbi Haron Kapach in Israel. I don't know him. I just came across some of his writings. And he writes that it's abundantly clear that the Rambam would say you wear tefillin on Chol HaMoed, and that's the minhag of Yemen, but ultimately that's not the minhag of Yemen. My family, who were not Kabbalists by a long shot from my father's side, do not wear tefillin on Chol HaMoed. In fact, there's even a story that happened in 1932, Pesach of 1932. Rabbi Yosef Kapach had taken over for his grandfather, Moriah Yeshish, Rabbi Kapach, who had passed away. And he had become the rabbi of the Bet Midrash of the Dor De'ah movement there in Yemen. He was 14 and a half years old, and he was the Rav, the head of this movement. And he was in the Bet Midrash on Pesach. And two of the Talmidei Chachamim who were in the Bet Midrash showed up to Shacharit services wearing tefillin. And Rabbi Yosef Kapach went over to them and politely asked them to please return home and take off their tefillin. That in the lifetime of his grandfather, no one wore tefillin here on Chol HaMoed, and he's asking for them to do the same and to respect that that's not the minhag in the Bet Midrash. What Rabbi Yosef Kapach did on his own, I don't actually know. I intended to research this a little more, but I didn't get a chance. But ultimately, the minhag is not to wear tefillin, and it seems like that was the minhag even before Maran. Why and how and what is it based on? That's a fantastic question, and it requires more research. But I don't think it's fair to say Maran is the one who invented this. Rabbi Yosef Kapach does mention he doesn't know how old the minhag it is. Is it very old? Is it Talmidei Rambam that understood it this way? Is it a later minhag that came precisely because of those tzefat influences in Yemen? I don't know the history of this, but Lamaaseh, Kehillat Sefarad for sure, and definitely among the Yemenite Jewish community, who were not all Kabbalistically inclined, the minhag was also not to wear tefillin. I don't know why this accusation is constantly leveled only against Maran. Perhaps it's because he gave that as his reasoning, but it's not for me to stick my head in right now.